Welcome back to the shop. Today we are back on Fat Fanny, our 1947 Ford. One of the great challenges here on the channel for me is trying to generate interesting content and give you something that maybe you've never seen before. The problem is a lot of that stuff, at least in the initial views, is not very attractive to people. And I fight that battle all the time because I want to do things that are going to really help make the channel grow for the financial support and so forth that it does bring. But sometimes I feel like I compromise myself in that process. So today I'm being true to myself, truly spending a day with me here in the shop, doing what I'm doing. We're working on the 47 Ford. We're continuing on with our vent wing window project that we did in our last episode. We're going to do the one on the passenger side this time, and there's a little more complicated stuff to do there. So, well, let's just get into it. I'll shut up now. I'm Mike, and this is My Car Shop. In our last episode, we machined out this handle that was had a broken off piece inside and was seized into the aluminum or the casting. And then we took this out of here and machined up a new pivot for this to go on to. We put it all on the car, and we made our vent window work again. So today we have to do the same thing on that one, but it's a bit more complicated. I have two more vent wing window latches. We have this one here, which is the style for the 47 Ford, and we have this one here, which is the style off of some other Ford. So what I want to do is take and cut this off, join it to this, and also machine that out and use our pivot bushing here, the extra one that we made last time, see if this one will work. If not, we'll jump on the lathe real quick and machine up a new one like we did on the other side and get that put on this car. So we got a lot of work to do, and I just want to make a couple comments here as we get started. A lot of cars have this style of vent wing latch. It may look a little different, and while I'm working on a 1947 Ford, this can apply to any vehicle that has this style of latch. So keep that in mind. A lot of the work we do here is rather universal. So the first thing we have to do is drive the cross pin out of here, and I hope we can have some success with that. I don't even know which way it has to go, but whoo, doggies. That is going to be one. Oh, that's why. Pounding it the wrong way. All right. Maybe. We can just get it to budge. Let's try it like that. I can hardly see it, much less know where to hit it. Well, the other one came out so easy. All right, I got a job of work to do here. I'm not going to waste your time. I'm shifting gears. That was not working. I wasn't getting it out of there. What I did discover, I took the pin out of this one, and this whole assembly is still intact. I drove the pin out. What happened was this ripped out of the frame itself. So we may just use this one temporarily until I can get the right one, but I have an actual original pin. So we'll get that pulled out of here and see what it looks like. I was planning to cut that off and cut this one apart, but this one's all intact and functional and even has a good pin in it that's just ripped out of the window frame itself. So this is kind of interesting to me. Again, it's spending the day sharing my thinking processes. Yeah, this is loose, actually. I'm getting it right out of there. There we go. There's what she looks like. How cool is that? Oh, now I understand how that little push pin also works. Interesting. So we can probably get that one working as well, this little release mechanism here. Now we know what these things look like. 100%. Pretty cool. I did not know that. We did not make the other one like this, obviously. So here's our parts. Here's the handle with everything stripped out of it. Here is the release mechanism, that little push button that goes in there. Here is the inner barrel part, which what does is it sits in there like this, and then you or you push this, I guess it is, to release it to get this to turn. And then, yeah, so we've got it all. So we need to get it all cleaned up and lubricated. And yeah, I was thinking I was going to take and cut this all apart, but now seeing that this thing is actually all intact, I'll show you on the car what the difference is. So that one sits down nice when it's latched. What's going to happen with this one is, I'm not crazy about it, but rather than it sitting down like this, it's going to be up like this when it's latched. You know, I'm not thrilled with that, but it will function. And now that I understand how they work, it will be easy enough once I have this part fixed here to swap this out at a later time. So I'm going to use what I have. That's not going to cost me a penny, and just a little time to pull this apart, get the glass back out, and get this out of this little piece here and put the one out of this one in there, and then get this mounted on there. So this is going to be a little easier than what I was expecting. And the main thing is that the window will latch. That's what we're shooting for here. All right, I've got everything lubricated up now and it's working well. So we go, it won't turn. It's working like it's supposed to. You push the button, it will release. Let's get you over here where you can see better, and then boom. Okay, so I want to make a note. If I want that handle to flip back like that, which I think I do when it's in the car, I want to make sure that I have it put in there properly, because there's a step. So that works good. I'm happy with that. And then boom, it pops back up and it locks. And so when we pull this apart, I want the tall spot to be on the bottom. So I need to remember that. So the tall goes on the bottom. I'll probably have to reference the video and show you what I mean. The tall, see, you got a tall and a short, and the tall goes on the bottom. So now the next thing we need to do is to get this little piece here out so that we can get this drilled out and get that other one welded into it. This window is only held in by a little dab of silicone up here because I knew I was going to be taking this apart later to fix it. But the safest place for the glass was to be in the car itself. So we're golden. We just got to take that out and get that dealt with, and we'll show you how we do this. We drilled out our 2 rivets down here that were holding that in the window track. We got that out. We're going to get a chisel now and just get this piece out of here so we can make room to put the other one in. Boom, popped right out. Now, let's see if we can get the other one in there. Oh yeah. Come over here to our MKS MTS and use this where I got a little more space, because that's the final frontier, and then this will fit right in there. So we just got to dress this up just a little teeny bit here to get it to go in there, and then we can tack weld it in place. And it needs to go in with the proboscis on the bottom, so like this, like a so. So I can't hold the camera and do this all at the same time. So we'll be right back after a brief word from nobody at all. Like a moron, I forgot to shut my argon off last time I was out here, so I get to go fill my tank because there's a slight leak in the system. Has been for years and years. I've never been able to find. Dang it, another waste of 50 bucks. Anyway, I got it welded up. It's here in my little cooler thinger, just to, you know, make it, my cooler thinger, to make it a little bit more so I can handle it, because it's too hot to handle. Whew. There we go. So I got it welded up, and now we just need to grind it a little bit, and we'll be in like Flynn, as long as it still holds. All right, works good. I just tested it real quick, just to be sure that everything is copacetic and not so pathetic. Everything works the way I want. So we will get this in the vehicle and get this riveted back into the window frame over here, like so, down in there, and then we'll get it put together, and hopefully it works. Woohoo! Oops, I got one rivet still sticking down. That wouldn't have been good. It would have could have potentially caught the paint. There we go. Our split rivets are hammered in. Our piece is on there. Things are nice and tight. So I'm going to put the latch on now and make sure that it works, and then we'll get the glass back in. We also need to get a little bit of foam track in here. I don't actually have the foam for this yet, so that's another reason I'm not putting them in permanently. I've got to get the proper window channel stuff. I just got to go up to my local glass shop and get it, unless, just noticed, forgot I have a big spool of this. That might actually work. We'll have to check that out and see. There we go. We got some grease poking around there because I greased it up pretty good. But boom, it locks. It works. Locks back in place. I like it. Let's put it up in like this, bring it in, and boom, it holds our window. And that's what we're going for right there. So let's get our door or window glass back in. Oh, I want to check that channel track, yeah, or that channel track and see if that's going to work in there. Alrighty dighty, let's get our window. There it is. Let's loosen our thingamabobby. Okay. And I've got a little piece of this track over here. So we'll find out. Let's see, the window goes like this. It might. It's a little too thick. Yep, it's a little too thick. Okay, well, it was a good idea. I'm just going to get a little felt to put in there for now so that it doesn't crack the glass or anything until we can get the right channel for it. Just like a ragu, it's in there. Just do a little glass cleaning here. Get things cleaned up. Try to stay out of my little silicone daubs up in the corners. But our little latcher mechanism works good. Even the button works on this one. Yeah, we're not quite in there all the way yet. That's okay. It's better. Okay. Get some of this cleaned up. I like this this Motor X window cleaner. I'm not sure where you can get it, but I got it for Christmas like 15 years ago. And it's just the greatest stuff. I like it better than that spray away stuff that one of those other automotive YouTube channels is always bragging about. Of course, they pay him a lot of money to like it too, but I think he liked it before they started paying him money, so I'll give him that credit. Because, you know, my opinion matters so much more than Derek's, right? It's all good. All right, well, that looks really good, and it works good. And so I got my little daubs of silicone in the corners just to hold it in place so the glass doesn't fall out until we can get the proper window tape track, whatever we're putting in there. Boy, this thing is a filthy pig. But, you know, I'm not crazy about the fact that that has to stick straight up. But I like that better than not having anything on it at all. So, you know, always a trade-off, right? There it is. Looks good. And the thing I like about it was a couple hours of work and it was free. It didn't cost me a dime. So another little step forward here on the stitches. Stitches. Wow. On Fat Fanny. Jeez. Whew. Yeah. I don't think it looks bad at all. And it'll be an interesting conversation piece when people say, why is that one sticking up and this one's not? Like anybody would be that observant. So what's next on our fat fendered Ford that we call Fat Fanny? Wiring. Becky is excited to get out here and get after the wiring with me. So watch for that. That's probably going to be the next episode coming on this car. Might even be the next episode on the channel. And I wanted to talk about that since it's the end of the video and almost nobody sticks around. I alluded to it a little bit in the beginning. It's a challenge for me sometimes to know that I could be doing fabrication work on the Duster or the Challenger and getting a whole lot more viewership. Thought I scraped my paint. But I really think that the authenticity in the long run of me doing what I do, it is what it is. It's a challenge. It's a trade-off of true to myself versus just doing something that I know is going to get a lot of clicks on YouTube. I do know what to do to get a lot of clicks on YouTube. I've learned that much. But that wouldn't necessarily be authentic. And that's probably a good Talk About It Tuesday episode. So watch for that one coming soon. That'll do it for this episode. It's another little bite forward on this car. We are close to getting our door panels upholstered. I need one more piece of quarter. I'm still trying to find one piece of that fabric, but I got some ideas on what to do for that back armrest. We have everything else, enough material to do everything else. I can do both front armrests. I can even do one back armrest, possibly two. So that stuff will be coming. My goal in the next month would be to have this interior in the car and have it fairly well buttoned up except for the headliner. That's going to be on hold because that's going to cost some money that I don't have. But if we're on the road with this thing within the next month and driving it and the interior's in it and we have door panel upholstery and upholstered armrests and wiring is done and all of our safety issues are taken care of, and of course we have a transmission leak to take care of, that's all doable in the next 30 days as long as I stay focused on this car. So Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, we'll be able to get some insurance and plates on it if I can come up with the jack, and we'll be moving forward on this one. So thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Whew. All right, I need to go take a break and get something to drink. I'm thirsty. Water. I need some water. I've got a lot more I'm doing out here yet today. All right, we'll catch you on the next one.